Before we start this episode this week, I want to take the time for us to sit in silence, pray for Ukraine, as Russia decided to have a full scale invasion, the biggest invasion we've seen since World War II. And Putin refuses to see Ukraine as a sovereign nation, independent nation, a democratic nation. And he wants to reform the Soviet Union. So let's just take that moment right now to just kind of give silence in our prayers to Ukraine. All right, so about like 10 minutes ago, I actually got the brand new Brilliant Stars packs. Of course, I can only buy 5 packs at once, which I can kind of understand because everyone seems to be buying them lately. So I went in, I got 5 packs. First pack I pulled out, it was a decent rare holographic, nothing special to put into a hard case. The next one was pretty much nothing. And then the third one I opened up was a really nice full art Umbreon. Not a V though, but Umbreon. And it was actually pretty good. And then the second one, or that fourth one that I decided to open, that pack. Oh my gosh, I got a surprise. I was not expecting it. It was a Charizard V Star full art card. That was a beautiful card. I had those beautiful rainbow colors and everything. So that was a really nice gift for myself, I guess you can say. And it's nice to get some more Charizards because usually when you've looked at everything, all the Charizard cards that has ever come out are always priced high. They have a higher value than the majority of cards. Same with Dragonite. Apparently Umbreon as well. So I got 2 different Umbreons, and I got 2 different full art Espeons as well. And as before, Luga, I can't remember how to pronounce his name because I'm so terrible at sometimes. And a couple other cards that are actually pretty high priced. And they're pretty new, so these aren't like the older cards that are priced really, really high. But it's very nice to just get some of these nice cards out of these packs, especially when I'm just randomly going, you know what? I'm bored today, and I don't have to work tonight, so I'm just gonna go to the store, grab some energy drinks, and some Pokemon cards. And plus, I had to buy another, card holder too, because mine is pretty much can't hold them, and I like to keep everything organized. So when I went there, I got the 5 packs and brought them back. Yeah, and that 5th pack that I opened was pretty much nothing either, but they weren't too bad, but it was not a holographic rare. It was just a rare that was just but I do like the cards. Like, a lot of the cards seemed better than the previous Sword and Shield named ones. I can't remember what they're called. There's so many dang ones now, but Brilliant Stars so far for me has started out pretty well. So I'm probably gonna go pack up, go grab a couple more packs tomorrow and see if I can get something else. It seems like to be a rave. Like, man, I got there and like all those packs were almost gone. So I got near the back, so that's probably why I got the Charizard. Cause it seems like every time when I pull from the back, I always get good cards. Yeah. Anyways, the thing I really want to talk about this week on this episode is about NASCAR. And the reason why I want to talk about NASCAR is it's a new generation. I have been a fan since I was a kid, but the popularity seems to change a lot, and there's a lot of new things going on, a lot of new tracks, and so on and so forth. But here's the question, though. Is NASCAR gaining popularity with the new generation and losing popularity with the older generation? So what it seems like is that the older generation is just not up for the new tracks, the new road courses. They don't like the stage racing, which I agree with this. I don't like the stage racing either. I think they should just keep going like they used to, but that's besides the point. They complain about diversity. They're all complaining about, you see it time and time again. People like Michael Jordan being an owner. They talk down on him, Bubba Wallace, he gets second place instead of first place at the Daytona 500 this year, and you know what, this is the second year in a row he got second, which is actually really good. It starts him out really good for the year in the standings, but people are talking crap, and it is a problem in NASCAR because NASCAR has predominantly always been a white sport. Not many African Americans and Mexicans or all minorities haven't really been in there as much. It hasn't been dominated by them, and it's always been dominated by whites. So we have the older generation there that are not open to change, and they're not open to diversity. And it's just how it always seems to have been. But it is definitely gaining popularity with the new generation, and even for me too. So, I've always watched NASCAR with my family when I was younger, as a kid. I would always get bored, honestly. Like, I absolutely hate super speedways. Like, I'm not a fan of Daytona. I'm not a fan of Talladega. I hate super speedways. I like short tracks. I like road courses, and I do like speedways, so like Las Vegas and Atlanta and stuff like that. Like, they're fun to watch. But super speedways like Talladega and such, oh my gosh, I'm sitting there like just storing away because it sucks. At least to me it does. But so with the new changes of courses and new road courses and some dirt tracks and some new changes to start everything, I'm very open and very happy with those kind of changes. Now, I do wish they would change the stage racing, get rid of them. Go back to how it was before. Or change it up to something new that we can't think of, because I can't think of anything else that would be good for a change, Because at least, let's say road courses, at least for road courses, get rid of stage racing, because, dude, the stage racing with road courses and cautions absolutely suck. It really does slow it down. And I love the road courses, especially COTA. Oh man, it's so exciting to watch. Like, these new road courses they're adding in, new short tracks. They're so fun, and I have actually I want to say about 2013 or maybe 2012, I stopped watching NASCAR because it was boring from hell for me. And let's see, the last 3 years I've been watching it every single race, or at least try to watch every single race, but it's not always on local TV, and I'm not paying extra for a streaming service like Peacock to watch stupid shit. Like, no, just put it on local TV. Sorry, guys. But I really enjoy it. I really do like the new courses and the innovation. When they first pulled out the idea of the new generation vehicles and the numbers pushed to the front, I thought it was ugly. I thought the new cars were going to be a joke, and I was not excited for them. But I gave them a chance. And, there are some good schemes out there, and how they're doing the numbers, they're a good size, and they're pushed to the front, and it's kind of in, the logo designs and everything's on the side, the sponsorships, and it kind of reminds you of the Australian V8 supercars, which is a big plus for me, because I love those cars. Now, obviously, they're not as fast. Those V8 supercars are pretty nasty and pretty fun to watch, but they also did the change with the one lug nut in the center, which, that's supposed to be for safety, and I agree with it. I think it's actually a wonderful, brilliant idea. Now, a lot of people are complaining because we had some problems with stuff, and then we had fines for some guys. I think it was Team Penske and, I can't remember it. What is that other one? I can't remember the other team. But they messed with the wheels. Now, I guess from what I understand, it is now okay, so they don't get the fines for them. They say that it's a good innovation. I guess they have some crew members that worked on the Australian V8 supercars, so they understand some things have a little issues, and a little bit of change on small parts will help the wheels stay in place and connect like it should, and for safety. So NASCAR is allowing it. Now we have seen some issues. Now people are like, oh, 5 lug nuts are better, da da da. Well, no, not really. Not really. It is not okay. So there is, some discourse on that. People don't like the one lug nut in the center of a wheel. I think that looks really good. I like the size of the wheel too, and the cars actually look really good. I find the wheels to look good. I see the bigger safety idea, spending your time instead of doing 5 different lug nuts and not getting them perfectly on there, you have one, and it's in the center of the wheel. The wheels look sharp, they look nice, and apparently from when I looked at it, the wheels are actually lighter than the previous wheels with the 5 lug nuts. Go figure, right? But they're larger too. What did it say? 18 or 19 inches? Man, I'm very, very bad at remembering stuff, but yeah. But I think it is a very good sport. I think it's very good for diversity now. I think it's gaining popularity with the new generation, especially with the newer millennials. I'm not the newer millennial. I'm actually the older millennial because I'm 33. So, but some people can't accept change, and they don't like when there's a huge diversity entering the sport. And you see that a lot of times, and then you see criticism of other sports the same way too in the past. Now everything's more welcoming, and NASCAR needs to have that more open, and the fans need to be more welcoming, more diverse, more open to change, and more to just accept and just grow with the sport instead of just judging it all the time. There's people out there all the time like, get rid of Bubba Wallace. I don't like black people. They don't deserve to be in the sport. If you don't get rid of them, I'm not watching it anymore. Okay, you're one person. Bye. We don't need your racism in the sport, so peace out, kid. So, now, if you're a fan of NASCAR, I want to know what you enjoy of the new changes and what you don't enjoy. I think it's very intriguing to hear someone else's viewpoints, opinions, and perspectives on the sport of NASCAR. I know one thing that a lot of people hate is that, the horsepower of the vehicles have lowered, so they're not going as fast. But you know what? When I looked at the speeds for Daytona, I think they were actually faster this year. For the top speeds were actually faster this year than they were last year, if I remember right. I'd have to go back and look, but I think when I looked at them, they were actually about 5 miles per hour faster than they were last year, and that's actually pretty good. We're not over 200 miles per hour anymore like they used to be back in the day. But you know what? This has been taken for safety precautions. Imagine hitting that fence, flipping over 200 miles per hour. It's bad enough at 190 miles per hour. So, they've done really good with the new equipment for safety and the protocols and everything. So I'm actually really enjoying it. And I do like the rain weather. And I know a lot of people are complaining and whining and crying about it. I don't care. When it was raining and they were racing, I was happy. I thought it was exciting. I thought it was fun. Yes, there's points when it gets too much and you need to throw that caution or red flag. But, I mean, there is nothing wrong for the NASCAR sport to race in the rain. Now, I think they do need to add in headlights. Because I think it was Coda, wasn't it? I believe so. And it was raining, and because of the storm, it was so dark. So, it's really hard to see without headlights when it gets that dark. So, that is something I feel they need to add in. I do like that they have the wiper blades now, too. So, at least that helps, but that does not help when you're getting all that spray, and it doesn't help when you don't have headlights to see in front of you. But it did make it more exciting for me. I know it was kind of dangerous for them, but I'm sorry. I'm going to be selfish, but I enjoyed it when it rained, and I enjoyed watching them crash. So, but that's me, and yeah, I never wanted to see someone actually get injured. So let's make that clear. But that is part of the sport. Crashes has always been part of the sport. What is always why do people always go to Daytona and Talladega? It's not just to see the winner. It's not just to see a race, because half the time it is boring and people complain about it being boring. It is to watch the big one, the big crash. And that's the sad reality, is the wreck fest is really the selling point of racing. Always has been. And a lot of people said, oh, F1 does better in ratings. Actually, it doesn't do better in ratings. Well, outside of the country, yes. But when they, the whole Formula One and everything, when the whole broadcasting deal last year, they actually were well under what they expected. And NASCAR was way ahead in the ratings. So let's really put perspective on that. Formula One is a great sport. Nothing wrong with it. But it does not work here in America, apparently. The Indy 500, yeah. But I think it's because Americans are more going another left turn, and that's what they enjoy. With that being said, you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I'm glad to be here on a Friday night now for you guys, and this will be the new time, and sometimes Saturday mornings for the new podcast episodes. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you here next week.